difficult questions, they are difficult for everyone. Okay, so please put up that fight. Like I said, that 3 words are given, we have no idea. But keep fighting till the last word of the last option. एंड तक फाइट मारे कि हाँ मैंने पूरा क्वेश्चन पढ़ा और मुझे सचमुच नहीं आता है, आई हैव नो आइडिया. बट जितना आता है उतना फाइट जरूर मारे. यू हैव टू बी इन दैट स्पिरिट ओवर दैट येस आई हैव कम हियर टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. Last part about prelims, I would say that I wrote on my question paper in my 3rd attempt that this paper 1 is also a CSAT paper. It requires your logical reasoning, it requires your mind to be in an analytical mode, and it requires you to derive information कि नहीं वो ऐसा होता था तो ये ऐसा होगा, something, those calculations have to be there. So the way we are attentive in a CSAT paper, you have to be extremely attentive in the first paper. You might not know certain things, but you have to be in that problem solving mode, that however much I know, I'm going to try to attempt. I know there are some basic questions about how much I attempt and in how much time I finish the paper. So I attempted approximately 90 questions in all 3 attempts. Sometimes in my 3rd attempt it was 94, in my 2nd attempt it was 86, but roughly around this range. I know the strategy can be very different for different people. Some people have a very high level of accuracy. I have some friends who have cleared the exam with much less number of attempts, but I am just sharing my own experience. मुझे लगता था कि मुझे तो 90 करने पड़ेंगे अटेम्प्ट, एंड आई वॉज सॉर्ट ऑफ इन दैट फाइटिंग मोड कि देखो बाहर तो ऐसे भी होना है, और नहीं अटेम्प्ट करूँगी तो वैसे ही बाहर हो जाऊँगी, और अटेम्प्ट करके गलत होगा तो ठीक है, एटलीस्ट आई पुट अप अ फाइट. सो आई हैड दैट एटीट्यूड. Please find what kind of a strategy will be beneficial for you. So I felt in my 3rd attempt that yes, 3 saal I have studied. I have sufficient 2nd level knowledge to solve the 1st level questions. I might not know directly where this is coming from, but I'm going to trust myself and my intuition about, because I might have read it somewhere, because this journey has been so long. I might have read it somewhere and I decided that I'm going to trust myself. And that worked for me. So with experience comes maturity. Don't play with the strategy in your very first attempt. Be very careful. If you feel you have read enough, then trust yourself. If you feel your knowledge is not enough, then take a step back and then analyze if you really want to attempt. So my strategy was this: roughly 90 questions I'm going to attempt, and above 60 I have to get right if I want to clear. So वो 30 questions मैं गलत भी कर सकती हूँ. सो एग्ज़ाम में नर्वस ना हो. हमें पता है कुछ क्वेश्चंस हम गलत कर सकते हैं. इट इज़ ओके टू गेट सम क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग. डोंट रन आफ्टर दोज क्वेश्चंस टू मच कि कुछ तो गलत भी करने हैं. ऐसे भी मैं अटेम्प्ट कर देती थी कि ठीक है, आई हैव रूम फॉर 25 क्वेश्चंस दैट आई कैन गेट रॉन्ग एंड इट्स फाइन. सो दैट हेल्प मी काम माई सेल्फ एंड इट हेल्प मी लिमिट माई नर्वसनेस. So I'll quickly take a few questions about prelims, and if we are done with that, I will move to mains. Any questions at all? How is it possible? Okay, I'll move to mains then.
Strategy regarding the CSAT?
Yes, I also saw the paper, and yes, it was difficult. And comparatively to last year also, it was more difficult. For me, I have in my college studied for CAT. So I still had that material with me, and I have learnt those things early on in my graduation. So that helped me somewhere. So but still I would suggest that please take CSAT very seriously. Like recently I have been interacting with the other toppers, and I have found out that they have cleared GS but they are not clearing CSAT, and this is a real issue. Do not be casual in your CSAT examination. Please stay awake, attentive, and fight till the last minute in those 2 hours. And apart from that, throughout the year for comprehension, one practice that was very helpful for me in solving comprehension is, long back in college, a senior had suggested that whenever you read a newspaper article, एक paragraph पढ़ा, उसको दिमाग में summarize कर लो. Just कि I've read this, okay, what does it mean? It means these 2-3 things. I've read another paragraph, I've read a whole article, and then I keep that aside and I think to myself, okay, they talked about this, they talked about this. So you should have that habit of summarizing articles in your mind, because that shows your comprehension, that you read a long paragraph and you could then summarize it in your mind. I think they are testing a similar thing over there. So options can be closed, but once you have this practice for over a year, I think it really worked for me. For over a year, you will be able to handle the comprehension part. Coming to quantitative analysis, that is your practice. Please find material and I think there's a lot of material in the market. कोई भी एक booklet उठा ले and उससे रोज I think something that I've always done is that if I have a very big challenge, I try to break it down. I just decide I'm going to do this 5 minutes every day. Don't make it a very big task कि आज तो 10 घंटे CSAT करना है, फिर वो नहीं हो पाएगा. Don't make it, उसको पहाड़ नहीं बना दे, उसको बिल्कुल छोटा कि मैं सिर्फ 2 क्वेश्चंस रोज करूंगी. So you can imagine the power that over a year, just two questions I have done, and I have covered so many topics. So try to make it easy for yourself if you don't like it. But yes, please take CSAT very seriously. Someone had a question?
Is there something which will remain constant in while preparing for prelims? Some strategy which will never fail, even if the paper is going to be a bummer. For example, you said PYQs. We should always analyze them and keep them handy.
Yes.
But there are some strategic how do we approach prelims when
Yes.
it is going to be so dynamic?
See, I also followed a lot of tricks and all. YouTube videos इतनी होती है कि ऐसे eliminate कर दे.
Exactly. Too much information.
Too much information. I also felt कि अच्छा ऐसे eliminate कर देंगे तो कितना 120 score बन जाएगा. I have also fallen for those videos, but it works to an extent, and I think it used to work. That is an outdated strategy. It used to work, but in my third attempt, when I saw the pairs in the question, how am I going to eliminate anything at all? So knowledge is non-negotiable. So please take your knowledge and your hard work very seriously. Because if I'm saying that you have to do the newspaper every day, you have to do it every day, and you have to make those notes, and you have to do current affairs, and then you have to revise them also. Often we make notes, बहुत notebooks पड़ी रहती है जो कभी revise ही नहीं की है. Please take the knowledge part of it very seriously. Knowledge is also non-negotiable. After you set that minimum, keep on increasing that. Okay, science and tech में इतना बढ़ गया, environment में I know all these things. I have seen the map of all Ramsar sites. I have seen all national parks, which state it is in. With my friends, we used to keep on practicing that. I would say the name, they would say the state. So keep having those friendly interactions with your friends also, where you keep on practicing it. So knowledge is also non-negotiable, and these tricks are there, they will take you only so far. That's what I feel. Maybe it has worked differently for other people. But I feel that MCQ solving ability over there, it will come from previous year questions. At least the last 3 years, from 2019, 20, 21, 22 and now 23. You have 5 papers that have been on the analytical side and less on the factual side. So these 5 papers are really going to help you spend a lot of time, spend every day some time with just 2-3 questions. रोज 3 question, रोज 5 question. बस किसी फ्रेंड से डिस्कस कर लिया, उनका पर्सपेक्टिव समझ लिया कि अच्छा दिस वाज आल्सो वन वे टू सॉल्व इट. सो दैट रियली हेल्प्स. प्लीज कीप दोज इंटरैक्शंस ऑन. One last question quickly.
Ma'am, as you said, for like newspaper, you have to read it religiously daily and make some notes along with that news reading, and you have to follow one's website also for that, like we are covering all the things or not. So for that website, you are talking about PIB websites or any coaching websites?
I think I have followed different websites in different attempts, and at the end of it, it is safe to say that everyone is providing a lot of material. So there is now the problem of excess material. So follow one coaching website, because they are collating material from PIB, from 4-5 newspapers. So कोई भी ऐसी एक comprehensive website जो होगी वो आप follow कर ले, and उससे भी सारे notes मत बनाए. If you think that this is important, again previous year questions will help you understand what is important. That is very important, because today there is excess material. We try to note down everything. So previous year questions से वो important areas के important points आपको मिल जाएंगे, and there are many websites today that are covering this comprehensively. So do a quick Google search and find the website that suits you best.
Very different from different.
तो एक महीने में एग्जाम नहीं है ना, एग्जाम 1 साल बाद है, तो 1 साल में वो सब बराबर हो जाता है. किसी ने इस मंथ में कवर कर लिया, किसी ने नेक्स्ट में, वो भी एक दूसरे का मटेरियल पढ़ ही रहे होंगे. आई एम श्योर नोबडी वांट्स कि मेरा कुछ छूट जाए पीछे. तो उनके साइड से भी सोचे दैट दे आर ऑल्सो वेरी कंपेटिटिव विथ ईच अदर. तो वो हो जाएगा नेक्स्ट मंथ में कवर. हैव दैट फेथ. और ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि एक ही मैगजीन से क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं. वो बस दैट हेल्प्स यू सेट द बेस दैट ओके दिस इज हाउ आई कैन गो एंड सॉल्व ओवर देयर.
Okay, thank you.
Quickly, yeah. Is there a way to increase?
Calculating ability of mathematics.
Yes, people often feel that aptitude cannot be changed. Aptitude can be increased, and I have seen this personally in my life. Also because in college somehow I'm deviating, I don't want to talk a lot about that because that was just something I was doing on the side, but I started with a very low percentile in the mocks for CAT, and in 2 years by the time I was in my final year my percentile had really increased. So that's when I realized that aptitude is not something that is cast in stone. वो एक है नहीं कि आपकी percentile इतनी रहेगी, आप practice करते रहेंगे, पूरा साल है अभी, you have 1 whole year for an attempt, your aptitude will short increase if you invest that time in yourself and if you keep practicing on a daily basis. So find the different topics, again previous year questions, last 5 साल का CSAT का पेपर उठाए, लिमिटेड टॉपिक्स हैं, लिमिटेड सिलेबस हैं, एक तरह के क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, एक सीख लिया तो दूसरा भी सॉल्व हो जाता है. CSAT इज लाइक दैट. So I think it's doable. I think you can increase your aptitude.